welcome back everybody. We are going to do some more tinkering around with this YBR 125. We need to find out if it's got a spark. I don't know if that one's going to come back to haunt me again, but the first thing we need to do is try and make some sort of sense of that butchered mess of wiring on the front there. Somewhere amongst that is the ignition. Fortunately, the remains of the wires are still on the bottom of the old ignition, so I might be able to figure out what goes where. Obviously I've got to order a new lock set for this, because I can't even get in at the petrol tank at the minute. But first thing I'm going to do is see if we can prise the remains of that old ignition out. I don't really care if I break it, I just need it out. I've got no idea how it comes out. Let me get a hammer. Give it some welly. Ah, there she goes. Right. So we've got brown, red and black. Now somewhere we'll find those colours here. Brown, red, black. Brown, red and black. Now where are you? Well, I can't see it. Which is frustrating, to say the least. I can order a new ignition, there's plenty of them about, but obviously I've got to know where to connect the damn thing when I get it. And nothing. Right, I'm going to have a little bit of a sort out, see if I can figure out some wiring, and then we'll bring you back if we've got something to report. Back soon. Right guys, we're back. Now, this is bodging at its finest. Let me show you what I'm doing. So, we think that is the ignition plug, and I have found amongst my stash an ignition. It's not the right ignition because the plugs are both the same, so I can't plug one into the other. The wires don't match, so I'm probably going to set fire to the bike here. Now, this is what I've done. This is bodging at its finest. I've made up these little leads here. So I'm going to plug. I'll match colours where I can, but the colours are not the same. So, one. We've got a blue. So blue is red. We don't care. Fire extinguisher on standby. Well, it would be if I had one. So that picks up all those terminals, and then I'm just going to jerry rig it to this ignition, and I really don't know what's going to work and what isn't. So one in there. That one green. I've got green on it. I'll match colours where I can, but like I said, they're not entirely the same. So let me just get you guys back a bit so you can see better. Right, so I genuinely don't know what's going to happen when whatever happens. Right, that blue is red. It's not confusing at all, is it? Which leaves only one, so we do that. Okay, so we have an ignition of sorts. Whether it'll work or not is another thing. Now, I haven't got a battery for this bike, so what I've connected is my little Artec jump pack. But yeah, you have to press a button on it to get it to sort of put enough power through. So let me, where is it? Press that button. Wait for the light to turn green. Nothing on the starter. Still nothing. You have to pull a brake in or something. Those brakes in. No, absolutely nothing. And there's no clocks on here at all, so I can't check for ignition lights or anything. Right, that's just gone off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a screwdriver and just arc it across the thing, meaning solenoid. I just forget shit. So I've not checked for spark yet, but that's pretty futile until I can at least get the engine turning over. Yeah, I know I could kick it, but it's a ball's ache. Right, I'm gonna. Oh, got some. Well, that works. So, how could we get it going on the switch, I wonder? Bring you guys back round here. So, right. You know, I have no idea what I'm doing, guys. This really is. Things like this is why I call myself Bertie Bodget. If it don't work, bodge it. So what would connect? I'll tell you what I'll do. What if I just take that out and start touching it on different terminals? I don't know if you have to pull the clutch in on this, or the brake or something to make it start. No, can't get the damn thing out of it. Okay, what other options we got? What we could do. Well, this is the remains. This is, you can't see it, can you? This is the remains of the ignition. And I wonder if I can just reconnect that in some sort of Heath Robinson way and get that to fire up. Yeah, anyway, that's what we're up against, guys. So I'm going to turn you off. I'm going to have a little bit of a play round I need to check the spark, and we'll bring you back if we get any action. Cheers. Right everyone, plan B, C, D, F, G, whatever one. That is the ignition connector. I have confirmed that now from research online. Unfortunately, there appears to be two types of ignition. A 3-wire version, which are between 12 and 15 quid for a full lock set, or a 4-wire version, which is this one, where they're like rocking all shit. And the only one I can find is at a guy's website called Andy's Motorcycles, and it's £76. Not really wanting to pay that, given that I only paid 100 quid for the bike. What I'm going to do temporarily, just to sort of try and get me out of the shit before I sort of lay out big money, I'm going to remove this old ignition, and then I'm going to try and jerry rig it back together so it works, so we've got the proper ignition there, and try and get the thing to come to life like that. Unfortunately, I don't know that you're going to be able to see it. It's probably going to be very difficult to get the camera in there, but you have to take my word for it. They are snap-off bolts in there, so when you put the ignition on, you tighten the bolts up until they actually snap off, and then just leave a like a nub anti-theft device. Now, the only way I can see to get that ignition off is to completely remove that top yoke and then probably grind or drill them. That's precisely what I'm going to do, because even if I do buy a new ignition, that top yoke's got to come off again. So I'm going to whip that off and see if I can drill out the ignition, and then we'll see where we go. I have had it turning over only by crossing out the solenoid, and as you can see, I've been trying to cross over wires to try and get some life out of it whilst I can get it turning over. The old thing that always comes back to haunt me, no spark. There's no spark whatsoever. I don't know why. Given the state of that wiring, probably shouldn't be too surprised, should I? But yeah, anyway, there we are. We'll whip that off, and we'll see where we go from there. Thanks guys. And there we have it. It does look quite a cool light actually. But, top yoke's off, didn't take an awful lot of removing. There's those broken off shear bolts that I've got to shift somehow. Get in there. So yeah, I'm going to work on that, see if we can get that ignition out, and go from there. Cheers guys. Okay guys, there we are, ground the heads off. Let's see if we can get that to free up. That was easy. Right, now what I'll do is try and shift them studs, and I'm read online that they are Loctited in and damn near impossible to move. So let me grab my super duper mole grip. I won't stop it, I'll do it here and now, see if we can shift it. Right, so mole grips, what have I done with them? Oh, the DNA. That's the trouble with me, I don't put shit all away. So, right. Do you think we could be so lucky that we just get hold of them with the mole grips and out they come? Just not going to happen, is it? No, needs to be a bit tighter than that. Really need to grab hold of that. Right. Is that turning? Oh, I believe it is. They are Loctited in. but it's Loctite blue, which I don't believe is a stronger. I think Loctite red is the real strong one. Look at that. Okay, and my scrap bin. That's 1 for 1. Let's go 2 for 2. Turn it? I believe it is. I just read online about a guy who had similar issues, and he claimed that these were damn near impossible to get out. But there you go. Out they come. They just look like standard M6 threads as well, so when I put it back together, I will just do it with ordinary M6 bolts. So, yeah, there we go. I've got an M6 bolt in there, just to try that. That's one. Make sure that is a standard M6 thread. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I wanted to tickle them out with a tap. Just clear out the old shite. Okay, right, well that can go back on, but you know what, I'm tempted to get that a coat of paint, but it'd be mad not to, wouldn't it? Yeah, so I'm going to get that a coat of paint. I'm going to jerry rig up the old ignition, see if I can just bodge it up to make it turn on and off. I don't really care how rough it is, because before I go out and pay £76 for a new ignition, I want to know damn sure that that's all it does need. So, right, we'll cut you guys loose for now, and we'll bring you back when we've done a bit more. Cheers. Welcome back, guys. It's about 2.5, 3 hours later. I've been doing googling and messing about with wires and hacking and all sorts of things here. That's what's left of my ignition, but I've sort of Heath Robinson sort of bodge up to see if it could work. After some experimenting, I've found that I've just connected the 2 black wires into that block connector and then linked the other 2. That does seem to give me an ignition of sorts. You can also see I've put a headlight on it. It looks ridiculous. It's not the right one, it's just one I had in the shed. So I chucked it on just to see what it looks like. I doubt that'll be staying. Anyway, we have had some success. Now, if I just prime my little pack here, okay, I'll just stand you guys over here. Hang on, let's put my Heath Robinson switch on. So you do hear the fuel pump prime when you hear that. That's when I knew I had some action. So this is very temperamental. Hang on. That's the fuel pump priming. It does run, but it doesn't run very well. Probably don't bother me. That made me look a liar because it was running shit a minute ago. So yeah, anyway, we have got it running. We have got to get hold of a new ignition, obviously. and they're very hard to get hold of, the particular 4-wire one I want. Let's try that again. There we go. And why is it doing that, guys? That's full throttle. I'm not revving it, I'm just holding the throttle at full throttle. Now, if it was a carb model, I'd be playing around with the air fuel mix and probably pull the carb off for a strip down and clean, but this is fuel injection. I have absolutely no idea how to tinker with that, but it is temperamental. Sometimes, most of the time it won't work, some of the time it will. Very strange. Anyway, it's progress, it's running. I'll take that. You know, that's a step in the right direction. But I'm bored with it for the time being. It's hot. Can't be doing any more with it, so we are going to call it a day for today. And we'll pack it away. Yep, I think that's it. So if anybody can tell me why it's doing what it's doing, or how you go about tinkering with a fuel injection, that would be much appreciated. Comments in the bottom, please. And until then, Bertie Bodgett signing off. Cheers, guys.